The German board game company Cosmos publishes the Exit board game series since 2016 and since then has released almost 40 entries. No wonder there are 2 game apps now based on that series.
It is the year 1837.
Although there is this basic idea of an escape room, most of the board games were rather reminding of computer gaming point-and-click adventures, where you could examine places of the rooms you are in, combining them with the inventory and therefore unlock more rooms. So, bringing those games back to the computer is not really an escape room game in gameplay, only in name, for you have to get out of a house, a castle, a museum, whatever, and you do this by solving puzzles connected to your inventory and clicking on the screen. And this is why this Exit game feels much more like a point-and-click adventure than an escape room game like Escape Academy or Escape Simulator.
The door slams shut behind you. You are locked in the library.
You are trapped inside old Greifenstein Castle and the Countess is there only in letters and she is asking you to help her and to prove that you are worth of being chosen to do so. Unfortunately, it seems as many more have failed and so you search the rooms for the puzzles. Those start with a rather normal difficulty, but soon this not only raises to obscure heights thanks to puzzles that are cryptically explained, and that even by using all helps and the explanation are not only hard to understand, they are also most of the times much too long and complicated and, worst of all, no fun, but feel like you're doing work here. The things you do are typical, like a magnifier that reveals a magic site or using the inventory, but also expand in a way that not only feels unmotivated, but also never makes them a believable part of the story. One time, for example, you have to watch the credits of the actual game to get a hint. And this really breaks it for me, cause that may work as a way in an escape room game, but then you have a story here about a forgotten countess who needs your help. How can she have programmed this game today when it itself takes place in 1837, hiding clues in the app? And that is not the only time that this is done, making it incoherent in itself, so as if all the puzzles are not thoughtfully implemented on their own, fitting to the time and the scenery that the game takes place in, but just put there, not fitting to the game itself. And it's not only the menu or the actual game or the login name, if you played it, you know what I mean, it's the design of the puzzles as well, that do not feel as if they were there at the time, in that place, and in that way. And that really counts, cause there are no people to interact with, like in most adventures, and the amount of rooms is very limited, being below 10 in total, so there is not much to explore. I had to use the hint system very often to the limit as well, and even reading the solution turned out to be cryptically most of the times, feeling as well like a completely strange way that one might have made something like that in such a castle. The basic graphics were alright for an indie title, but using more classical point-and-click adventure elements, being more playful, more coherent in itself, having some more rooms, puzzles and inventory stuff would have really made this a much better game. Breaking down most of the puzzles to being normal as well, and this could be a nice in-between adventure. Like that, you better check out one of those classical ones. They will give you more fun, less frustration and, today, much more playtime and ideas for your money. Being the second escape room game test, I can really say stay away and get one of the others or one of the other adventures that I showed you in the past. And if you really want to try, get a demo somewhere. I simply cannot recommend this at all, no matter how much you like escape or adventure games.
To drive off, and the carriage starts moving. If the effect of the cure does not correspond to the wishes of the blue-blooded lady.